Yo. It's G White, mixed by G White extraordinaire, and you're here with CultureVa.
Alright, so like I explained to everybody else, I know you already, but this is me getting to know you as much as possible. It's not one of them politically correct platforms. It's Rick Ross and G White chopping it up as we normally do.
Right.
So first and foremost, welcome to CultureVa.
Appreciate you coming. Appreciate the invite.
Introduce yourself to the people.
So, what's up, people? What's up, world? Gerald White here. Everybody calls me G White in the industry. Audio engineer, music producer, songwriter, studio manager, studio owner. A couple things under the umbrella, but yeah.
Alright, bet. So what elementary school did you go to?
Elementary, we starting back. Carver Elementary in Newport News.
Middle school?
Huntington Middle School.
And high school. Word?
Yeah, downtown, baby. You feel me? And then Heritage High School. Top it off.
You grew up downtown?
I didn't, so I grew up right outside of downtown, like right off of Chestnut and Brockfield. That's like down the street from Heritage. So you can kind of say that's baby right before the train tracks if you want to get real technical, but close enough to still feel it.
So what was it like growing up in Newport News, Virginia for you as a kid?
I mean, bro, I was such a nerd. I was an introvert too. So like I would always stay in the crib, always playing video games, always in the books.
I didn't know you play video games.
I used to play video games, man. I ain't played video games in over 10 years though.
Do you ever think about it though? Like still, like I need to get back on the sticks?
I mean, look, I thought about it, man, buying it for the crib out LA, man, just for the vibe, add to the, overall vibe and shit. But nah.
I think you should, man. It's really it's like therapy for real, bro. Considering the shit that niggas go through, yeah.
Yeah. I heard it's a good way to get into your nothing box, you know?
Alright, so what were some of the ways you managed to stay on the right path as far as like not getting into the street life and all of that?
Honestly, from trying to perpetrate and trying to act as if like, I wanted to be street, honestly, making mistakes.
Nerd.
Going through, trials, tribulations, just the BS that most knucklehead people that ain't got a father in their life do.
Okay, so I was finna ask about the household too. What was the household like?
Single parent, single mother. Grandmother was always around the corner. Had strong uncles, but for the most part, my male influences, they really either came from my uncles or they came from some of the teachers that I kind of grasped onto like in grade school.
So the absence of your father, he just wasn't around?
They got divorced when I was 2, and just barely been seeing him since. I probably seen him and told him in my life maybe like 5-6 times consistently.
Well, how old was you the most recent time you seen him?
Most recent time I seen him? Yeah. I want to say had to be in high school. I had to be in college. Remember my first year in college at Norfolk State University. My brother had just graduated in 2010, I believe. Mm-hmm. No, he graduated in 2011 from high school. And I attended the graduation and he was there.
Do you feel like it affected you in any kind of way?
Yeah, it definitely did affect me. It affected me on how I moved, affected me on like how I treat women, affected me in ways of my ambition towards what I want to do, what I want to get, how I want to make my life go. I think it even affected my relationship with my mother. In a sense, seeing how that affected her. Naturally, seeing her attitude and seeing her demeanor switch and change, and be cultivated based around certain things that was going on within her marriage and the divorce. Naturally, some of those, I wouldn't even say imperfections, but some of those tendencies that I seen that she carried, and naturally just bled into me.
So for the most part, there were good outcomes from it. There wasn't really nothing that made you like lash out at people and crazy shit like that.
I wouldn't say no, not for real. It's not a crazy negative, but I mean, if anything negatively, it probably maybe just be in my personal relationships. That's about it.
Word.
To be honest, like.
So if you could sit with him face to face and tell him how you feel, like what would you say to him and shit? Cause I never I know my dad he wasn't around, but he was I won't even say he was really around. We contact each other a little bit. He's staying in Carolina, so we really weren't really in contact like that. But what would you say to him though? You could sit on face to face and get his ear real quick.
Honestly, I needed like a whole little 3-day adventure because I could do it by myself, which is dope. But I'm on a vibe now where it's like, bro, you know, I'm trying to piece the pieces to the puzzle, and with doing it, I gotta go to my lineage. I gotta go to my father. I gotta figure some things out. Some things that he done went through in life that I'm probably going through right now, that I'm dealing with right now, that he could probably help me with just based off his experience. So, number one thing is, man, just overall, just expressing like how I felt in the midst of him telling me, yo, I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna have this for you, I'm gonna have that, and you know, it was broken promises. So I'll start there, but eventually I get to it where I try to take it from a more therapy-based approach. And, you know, vent out, try to get his mindset and try to get his, you know, where he was at, where his mental was at, so I can try to understand more of like his standpoint of why he wasn't there, why he chose not to be there, and just salvage the relationship for what it can be for today.
Oh yeah, that's pretty goddamn inspirational and positive. All right, so when did the music actually start for you? Like, when was it like, I'm about to do this? Was it engineering? Was it rap? Was it production at first? Like, what started it?
Man, what started it was the horn. So I started playing instrument, playing the band, like in middle school, grade school. Picked up the trumpet, found that I was pretty decent at it my first year. Then, you know, I started doing like all district, all state bands, stuff like that. And I started finding myself making those.
What was that shit like for you, like as a high school student, just being a part of different events like that, where you a part of something big type?
One, it felt good because I used to get out of class early. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the number one thing. I don't think nobody really wanted to sit through all the classes, all the block periods. But so anytime I had the opportunity to do that, and it was an excuse from a curricular-based activity, extracurricular-based activity, I'm all in. I'm gonna do it. And then just naturally, I had a love and an ear for music, so it worked itself out, man. It was very competitive, though. At least the level that I was competing on, like I was doing it on a competitive-based spirit, where just competing with the best in the area.
Word. Is there any producers and shit from the area that you had class with, like back in the day, in band class and shit?
Larry Cooper.
Oh, for real? Y'all met in band class?
Initially, yeah. I believe we met when we first, my 9th grade. We had met at high school band camp.
Damn, for real.
And eventually, I was like a section leader at one point, and
how was it
stopped.
Seeing things change for him? Like, just seeing how everything turned up for his career. Like, how is that being the person that met him back in school?
Yeah, I mean, I can't do nothing but be proud of him. And then the fact that he's from the dirt, he's from the same dirt we from, you know, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I support it. I always applaud it. Anytime he needs help, if he needs help, I'm always there to help. Vice versa. You know, I might need help on things and he's aiding towards me. And, you know, this is a good relationship, man. I'm just proud of the brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, how did it get from the horn to engineering?
So, we used to be in class. Shout out to Irma Price. That was our band director at the time. But we used to be in class, man. Coop was in there at times. Had some of my other brothers in there. And, I mean, we just had a laptop open. Randomly, my man said Fruity Loops. But probably before, I was downloading free versions on Fruity Loops when like niggas had startup internet, you know. And well, like you know, I was messing with it back in middle school, but I didn't know what I was doing. I used to get frustrated and like, yo, I'm gonna put this up. I'm about to go play the video game. I'm about to go put on GTA, you know, GTA 3, 4, whatever. So, yeah, man. Eventually, man, we got the band class maybe my first or second year, and you know, start seeing somebody making a beat. I said, oh man, well, let me just watch. Start watching the screen a little bit more. I was like, oh, so that's what he doing. Took it home, started practicing it, and started really falling in love with it. By the time my senior year came, I was starting to make my own beats all by myself. Had other different musicians I was starting to collab with, making music. And it just started flourishing from there, bro.
That's lit as hell.
Yeah.
All right, so you attended college for music, or did you do something else in music just so happened to be a part of it, or was the reason you went was for the music educational part? So
I went for music. Initially, when I went into the program, well, first of all, I graduated and went to Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia, HBCU. Shout out to them, Green and Gold, Spartans, all that. But gotta get it to them.
Right.
But initially, when I was there, I was going for a music education degree. 4-year bachelor's degree. After my first semester, My academic advisor, Timothy Zachary, he's down in Texas now, for a band director out there. But he had a very great influence on me. And, you know, while he was there in Norfolk, he used to always just tell us or tell all his students, like, yo, whatever your dream, whatever your vision is, you gotta always follow it. You gotta always do it. Like, if you're gonna risk being here and doing anything, you should do that first. You should put all your energy and everything into that, especially while you have the time when you barely have any bills to pay.
Like he said, as far as for what you came to the school to do.
Yeah, just in general. Like, even if you came, like, you wanted to do music, you wanted to do band, you wanted to be a musician, and you feel like you're just doing music education just because, you know, it's a free way to get into school, but you might have your mind set on something else like business or like music technology or just something completely different outside of music, you should just focus on that. You should jump on that now. So once I had that influence my first semester, second semester came around for the first year, and I completely switched it to a degree called music media, and then that's where I got my degree. So music media was like, it was more of a, with music education, I was more being on track of being a choir director and a band director. More from a classical based perspective. But music media was more technology based, it was more mass comm based, so I would get a lot of different communication based classes, film criticism classes, sound acoustic based classes, MIDI classes, learning advanced mixing techniques.
So was college your first introduction to Pro Tools?
Actually, no. My senior year in high school, that was my first introduction to Pro Tools. But I was sorry on it. I probably really started getting the hang of Pro Tools like my sophomore year in college. That's when I actually said, all right, let me take a refund check that we used to always get every semester. Let me not, instead of me blowing it, let me invest it into myself. I bought my own laptop, bought Pro Tools, and I started getting busy with it.
So the things you learned, revise it, would you consider what you learned in school about Pro Tools more valuable than what you learned from real life experiences in Pro Tools?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because what I had to learn by going through school or going through college and getting my degree is that college is what you make it. College is there to be what you make it. So there's placeholders as far as like with information, and we'll go at a certain pace for you. But outside of that, you're gonna get the most bang for your buck based off the experience that you bring towards it. So you leaving the classroom and you actually put it into practical use. You jumping into the studio, you going out, you networking at events, you going out and you meeting different artists, you linking up with different producers, you linking up with different audio engineers, and you learning. You're gonna learn way more, you're gonna get through the industry way faster that way than sitting in the classroom and just reading a book and waiting for somebody to tell you something.
Right.
And instead of you taking the initiative.
So the class won't even really like hands-on, or was it hands-on?
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
Oh, for real?
Some of them were, some of them weren't. I wish all of my classes was a lot more hands-on. Now, if I probably went to a technical-based school, like Full Sail University, Arts Institute, LA Recording School, you know, things of that nature, MIA, you know, those hard-driven, engineer-based, producer-based classes, or degree-based schools, that I probably would have been a little bit more hands-on just based off of what they will provide naturally for the students and just the overall facilities. I mean, you got multi-million-dollar studios there. If I'm at a university school, the degree is way cheaper, but, you know, way cheaper, you get more bang for your buck, supposedly, but, you know, it's less emphasis on actual practical experience compared to just getting the book knowledge.
All right, so I understand that you are an entrepreneur, right? But before the business came, when did you decide that, okay, I'm finna do my first session and charge somebody to record them? Like, when did you know you was ready for that point?
I built up the confidence, naturally. I mean, when I probably say, like, my first year. Me and my mom, we put our money together. Bought us some KRK speakers. I had a little Inbox 2, Audio Technica 2020 mic, Baby Home setup studio, you know.
Your mom helped you get that job?
Yeah, my mom helped me get that.
That's lit,
you know what I'm saying? She was really rocking with the kid early. She was like, all right, they gonna get you out the streets? Come on, we got you. It's gonna stop you from being hard-headed. Come on, I'm all in.
Right.
So, you know, she helped me buy some equipment, and I just started recording at the crib. Anytime she wasn't there, bro, I'm going all in. I'm inviting people, hella people in her crib that she don't even know. Never met in a day of her life.
From school, most of from school.
School, streets, just naturally meeting people, whatever. Like at that point, I wasn't caring about who was, sadly, I wasn't caring about too much of who was coming in and out of the crib. I wasn't that much conscious about it. I was just conscious about me getting better. So, I had a group of people that I trusted. Shout out to T Cook. He was one of my first artists that I ever recorded. And yeah, man, like when me and him, man, we started in the trenches. We started at my mama's crib. And just learned from there.
Were you working when you started charging for sessions? Like, do you have a 9 to 5?
When you say work, so like my only 9 to 5 has been Busch Gardens, and that was in high school.
Oh, for real?
So I fully was committed. As soon as I like made that switch with my degree, I got an LLC that same second semester. So that was like the top of 2010. That was my first LLC.
Who put you on to that, just that language and shit? Because I know for me, LLC, the term ain't even come about till like 5 years later.
Understood. I mean, I was just so enthused about learning music and the music business that I would just use my Googles. I would YouTube. I would always be interested. I would be watching 3 to 6 hours of tutorials every single day. Whether that was just on the business, whether that was on music, like anything, I was just that fascinated with it and fixated on it. It was almost an addiction. Really, it is an addiction,
So how was it seeing that? Like what was it like in your mind? You like, damn, I could do this and provide for myself and my family and probably make some extra. Like, what was that like for you, like mentally?
Oh no, it was dope. It was dope. It was fascinating, and I was like, man, like, all right, so I can really make something of myself and do what's gonna make me feel good in the process. I feel A1 about that, because compared to my 9 to 5 that I had in high school, I was like, yo, I don't want to be out here, but I need the money. Yeah. And I said from that day, once I found music, I don't ever want to live like that again. I want to do something that, I feel confident, I feel good about waking up every day. Like, I don't mind personally setting my alarm clock at 4, 5 a.m. and waking up every day to work on it from 4, 5 a.m. all the way to about midnight, 1 a.m. Yeah. And then go to sleep, get a little nap in, and get up and do the same thing all over again. For days, all days, locking myself in the room and doing it. So I didn't mind doing it. So I just love the process. And then, anytime you get the green, that's an incentive. So I was like, man, all right, well, if I'm getting $20 a song, oh, now that's good. Well, let me get better and everything, so I can just start charging at least $15 an hour. And then from $15 an hour, 2 hour minimum, $30, okay, back.
Okay, so you used to do 20 a song at first.
Yeah, we used to do dumb cheap, man. Give me something for my time, brother. Come on, man, do that and buy me something to eat. I was a fat kid. I'm still fat, but give me something to eat, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Help me out.
Alright, so did you ever think about being an artist?
Yeah, man, I thought about it, man. I tried to get behind the mic multiple times, man.
Oh, you did actually get back there and try to record?
I tried, man. It was terrible. I mean, I still get behind it nowadays. Nowadays, just with like songwriting and just like presenting melodies to artists, but I'm good on that right now, man. I got a lot more. Yeah, I got more life to live before I feel like I'm good to be an artist.
So Commonwealth, how did y'all come up with the name? Being that it's like, anytime I hear Commonwealth, it's a bad thing. Like, oh, that's a Commonwealth thing. You don't want to live there type of shit.
Exactly, and that's the stigma that I had. That was that was a stigma that I used to always carry with it. Or I used to, like, mentally, that's just what it always used to be. Mm-hmm. Like coming up and hearing about Commonwealth, it would always be used in that type of statement or that type of light. But I wanted to just bring a positive connotation to it. That was my whole goal. So I was like, Commonwealth Music Group, just that simple. Like, that was the process of it. And I decided, like, all right, well, how do I want it to be different? And instead of actually, like, just simply calling it the music group, underneath the subtitle, it's really, I call it a creative management company. Because at the end of the day, we live in an independent age right now. And so people need help with their creativity as far as getting it to the maximum, whether they can, some people need the energy pulled out of them. It's almost like having a coach. Like, you could say you want to go work out, but you actually having a physical trainer, fit trainer, is actually going to get you into shape, and they're going to talk that shit to you. They're going to feed you, and they're going to pull stuff out of you that you normally may not be able to do it yourself. So creatively, that's what I want to do for people, creativity in general. Starting one with the music, but then all creativity, whether we talking about film, whether we talking about art, all aspects of just creativity. And then the second side, which is more of the management, It's just learning how to be an entrepreneur with your stuff and own your masters, own everything, get your paperwork lined up, and get the most money off of you betting on yourself.
Okay, so and within that description, I hear a form of management, but it's not like the type of management an artist think they would go need. So have you ever considered being like a direct manager for an artist, like the nigga that's setting up shows and trying to get them on Netflix and doing these different things like that?
Yeah, I have thought about it. At this point in time right now, I'm currently working on myself because I recently just moved out to Los Angeles maybe 2 years ago. And I've been working on my personal career as far as like as an engineer and a music producer. So, I learned for myself, focusing on that, along with just at the point in time, like I was still just struggling and just trying to, to live or die in LA. Like that was my story my whole first year in LA. Sleeping on floors and just couch surfing and things of that nature. So, I had to get myself together. So, me always thinking about everybody else, I had to start to be selfish. I had to start thinking about my own self and how to get my own personal life together and my own personal career together first. So, I'm still stuck in the transition right now. So, I haven't fully committed to being just straight manager, but I am doing some manager-based services right now for a couple songwriters and producers stuff.
Oh, word. So,
I have started that.
LA, I know you, so I don't want this conversation to come off like I don't know you at all. I know you told me before you was going and shit like that. Did you have a vision of how it would go once you got there?
Oh, yeah. Everybody has a vision of how it's going to go.
How far from that vision did it go? Like, because I know for me, I go into every situation with expectations and it's never what I expected.
Right.
So, based on what you thought it would be and how it really went, like, how was that?
Whew. Question. Hey, man, I ain't going to lie, though. Believe it or not, though, grace of God, it was maybe about, I was like 60% there.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I wasn't that far off, surprisingly. I mean, I put it to you this way, like, within the first 3 months, my idea was like, I want to have a good 9 to 5 in the music industry somewhere. That was my goal. Within the first 3 weeks of me moving out there, I landed an internship with Nipsey Hustle and Mike and Keys.
Damn.
So,
how'd that happen?
Bro, Instagram trolling. Get on your Googles, get on your Instagram, stay on your... If you're going to be on your phone, at least troll for your career.
Trolling meaning what? Give me White's definition of trolling.
Right, so my definition of trolling, I'm not talking about 6ix9ine trolling. What I mean is by trolling, business for yourself, is you need to go on Instagram, follow the people that you do like. And then when you click on follow, you can turn on notifications for posts and Instagram. Anytime that notification pops up on your phone, check it. Because it might be an opportunity for you. And if it's an opportunity for you, you solid. And literally that's what it is. Jump in people's DMs. Just inquire about people. Comment on people's stuff. Start engaging with the people that's within the comments. Because a lot of the times, like, I would look at Mike and Keys and then I would look at their live feeds because I was just a fan of just their music. I'd known them as like the Futurists prior before Mike and Keys, before they switched their names. And I was just naturally a fan, so I feel like it was a law of attraction naturally that I became, their engineer, which was just crazy how it happened. But, just through trolling, like, I would look at their comments and I would see who they would reply to. Then I started following those people and I started naturally trying to engage with them. Like, and eventually from there, one time I clicked on it when I was in Los Angeles, I just moved out there within the first 3 weeks. And I think I might have caught it on the 22-hour, like, after 24 hours, an instant post, like, deletes or so. I might have caught it like on the 22nd or the 23rd hour, it was up. And they said that we looking for an audio engineer internship position.
Damn.
So I immediately replied to that. Said, yo, what's the email if I can send my resume? Sent my resume. I was already had some credits from some people that I worked on with in the East Coast. And, I shot it through. They loved the resume. They said, oh, you went to school, everything? Oh, it sounds like you know what you're doing. Bet. Can you pull up tomorrow for an interview? Yeah, sure. 12 o'clock. Bet.
What the interview consist of?
The interview consists of 2 women just interviewing me and just asking me about the stuff that was on my resume. And saying, okay, how would you react if you was in a room with a celebrity? If you was in a room with somebody like P. Diddy, like, how would you react? Would you be trying to be a fan and trying to be sitting there talking to him? Or tell me your reaction. Tell me exactly what you'd be doing. Because people want to interview you not to only know that you know, you're good at what you're doing or why we want you in the room, but 2, you're not gonna fuck up the vibe. That's the best way for me to explain it. I'm trying not to curse so much in this interview, but I know it don't matter because by all means, it's for the culture by all means, but you know, same time, man, like, that's just what it is, man. That's the best way to describe it. Like, want to make sure that you're not in there fucking up the vibe.
So what was your first test as they engineer? Like, was you mixing drums, or did you have to mix a song? Did you have to track a session, or? So
my very first day there, I had a session with Guap there for 1,000.
Damn, the first day?
Very first day. I came in, I had an interview on Saturday. They said, all right, your first day is going to be this Tuesday. Tuesday I come in, I record Guap there for 1,000.
What was that like mentally? Did you know you was doing that before you got to work?
No, I didn't know. Anytime I used to show up, I found out who I was meeting. I found out what I was doing for that day. That's what they had me in the dark purposely.
Was you nervous?
I wasn't nervous at all because I already feel like I had all the practical experience. I feel like I already did 3 times. I don't feel like I already did 30,000 hours prior before moving to LA. So I already had the supreme confidence. And I said, all right, bet. Because naturally, before I even moved, I felt like, all right, there's not too many people that's better than me. Rick Rogers is better than me. And maybe 2 other people in the whole state of Virginia is better than me. That was my mindset.
Right.
And I was like, well, those gonna be my mentors, those gonna be my business partners, those gonna be my friends. And I'm gonna learn from them and I'm gonna keep building and building my thing. But, you know, I need to get out of VA before I can meet people that's better than me. So that was my mindset. When I started going over there and showing off the first day, they was like, oh, he's A1.
Oh, for real?
Once I started seeing their reaction, but they was, you know, people, on your first impression and everything, people are not trying to show you all of that. Because the moment that they show you all of that, they it can be taken slightly as a weakness and as, like, okay, almost as more as like smoothing things over, and it can make you be more lax in the situation and not make you be on your head. You can loosen up and you can do the wrong thing. And by fucking up the vibe. But, so, you know, I peeped it just by natural observation. But once I started feeling that energy, man, I was like, man, I knew I was destined for this. I knew it was what it was. So, first day, like I said, go out there for 1,000. We did 2 songs. That turned out to be crazy. Got his contact information. I found out who he was after he did like the little Henny thing.
Just, you didn't even know the nigga before.
I didn't even know him before, prior. And then I looked him up on Instagram. I said, damn, this dude got hella followers. And I looked at one of the posts. I was like, the Ferragamo Falcon. I was like, oh, that's him. That's what's up.
What the fuck is a Ferragamo Falcon?
Hey, man, I don't fucking know still to this day. But that's his brand. That's what he do. That's his lingo. That's that Dago talk. You know what I'm saying? That's that Bay Area vibe, man. Guap is just, you know, Guap is Guap, man. He's a personality that lights up the room, man.
All right, so who are some of the other celebrities you recorded dealing with that situation?
Man, look, that first week, first of all, bro, so that was the first day. Second day, they said, look, all right, you pretty much ran that session pretty well. Hey, look, we got 2 days at Record Plant. That's Dr. Dre's studio.
Damn.
So, you want to run the sessions over there? They're 2 of our blocks. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm going to definitely do it. I'm scared. I'm more scared than ever. I ain't been really big in a big studio like that in front of a big, massive board that costs $1 million. But sure, why not, bro?
Dr. Dre studio,
why not? Fuck it.
Damn.
We gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. So I pull up there 45 minutes early. I'm sitting there. I'm meeting Jay Stone. I'm meeting other people that's in Nipsey Hustle camp. From meeting people from Nipsey Hustle camp, I met Casey Veggies. I met Hitmaker. He had a room. That was down there. He was working with Ty Dolla $ign and Jeremiah. They was working on the album from that star like in 2018 when I first moved out there. So, man, look, bro. Multiple celebrities was walking in and out. I met multiple people just all in the first week of just working. And I'm just like, it's crazy, man. Shout out to LA. Shout out to just the overall experience.
Man, this nigga went to Dr. Dre studio.
First week, dog. First week. And you know, some of the artists that I'm recording, they like, some of them, you know, towards the end of it, I had one songwriter who was under the Hitmaker camp. He had came in, he was laying down some hooks on Michael Key's beat. He was pressing me. He was full court press.
What you mean, like on your ass type shit?
Meaning like, hey, yo, bro, you're not fast enough, bro. Faster. You do it faster? No, like you do it now.
That
like,
was a session or was that like a test they sent their way?
Like they just felt like I was moving too slow. But I just kept doing it. I just kept, you know what I'm saying? Let me move, let me go, let me, you know.
How did you respond to that though? Like,
I was just clean because I was just like, you know, I was just clear about it. I wasn't trying to take it personal because at the end of the day, you just trying to get a vision out and you feel like that I'm moving too slow before you forget the lines. And I seen that I messed him up once or twice where he did forget a line. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to try my best. I'm just trying my best to keep up. And I mean, I did a good job after. He was like, hey, bro, yeah, you good, bro. You're solid, bro. Just, you know, I just need you to pick it up next time.
how goddamn fast did he want you to be? You already fast.
He want me to be fast. It's probably how he record himself. And I was like, all right, bet. Well, shit. I'm
he
not gonna
record
be that.
himself type
Yeah, he be
shit.
recording himself. So it's just
Okay,
like,
yeah,
all right,
so it's like
mistake,
understood,
you know.
yeah.
It's just me learning people and like learning what to do. And that plus too, I wasn't even recording like with a record line. Like I wasn't even doing that. I was doing it the long, hard way still.
Oh,
so it's just
real?
like, yeah, bro, you know.
Damn.
Learning lessons, bro.
So, what was the worst studio experience you had over there?
Ha, dog. Hey, look, let me answer before I jump to that joint, right? Let me answer like the whole full question you asked. You was like, I think you asked me like, who have I worked with all in general?
Yeah.
So, I mean, bro, Nipsey Hustle, T.I., I just did something that just came out this past weekend with Brent Fayos. He was on the Gold Link joint with, you know, with Shy Glizzy.
Oh,
done some
damn,
stuff
for
with
real?
Faith Evans.
Then you made some fake shit too?
Yeah, I did some stuff with Faith. Bro, it's been a lot of people, bro. It's been a lot. Dom Kennedy, J305, Guap, Cos from Dreamville, Donald Genesis from Odd Future.
This is through records they produce?
Records that they produce. I done sent beats. I done, you know, actual sessions, recording sessions for people. Yeah, bro, it's been a lot of people.
Damn.
Sleepy Brown, Big Boy, Mike Epps, a lot of people, bro. There's probably a lot more people that I'm not even thinking about it because it's not on my list. T.Y. Savage, Beyonce. It's crazy. I should have said that first.
So on the humble end of it, you don't even post these credits like that. Like, what? Why you don't put this stuff in your bios and all of that?
Because in the world of the facade, in the world of the facade career, the facade lights, the bright lights and everything, people use that as their card. That's cool. People can use that as their card. But I'm always going to be the cool guy from Virginia. I don't ever really want to switch my approach up and make it seem like that I'm better than you because of my credits. And I see people always taking that approach. Try to take the higher road, like, oh, I deserve this because I'm this and that. Nah, bro, you still human just like anybody walking on the street.
Facts.
So I just try to be humble about everything because, you know, my experiences is my experiences, but it shouldn't deem if I'm better than you or not. You might just not be in the area. You might just not have your time yet.
How did you feel mixing the Nipsey record?
The Nipsey record, I mean, it was kind of crazy. So probably before I did like some recording for Nipsey, you know, before he passed, you know, R.I.P. him. And
Like, recorded them?
yeah, I recorded him prior.
Damn, for real.
And, yeah, so the things that I did do for him though that actually like are out right now, I did those posts after his death.
What is he like in the studio? Like, work ethic wise, is he a writer? He's a punching? What do you? Like, how
I
does
mean,
he work?
he's a mood type of guy. So I mean, it just really depending on how it comes is how it comes. Sometimes, you know, he might be in there. He might just be in the studio listening to a bunch of beats and smoking a bunch of backwoods and just trying to catch the vibe. Might get in the booth, might say a couple of vibes, may say a couple of bars here and there, and come out and just let that joint live and let it breathe. And he'll come back to it later. So I mean, sometimes it'd be that. Sometimes he might get a whole full verse out. He might get a whole full verse and a hook out right in the day if he's feeling that inspired. So, but it was all really a vibe. He was all off the vibe at the end of the day. He's never trying to force anything because at the end of the day, he's trying to be the most authentic he can be. So he don't ever want to fabricate it. And that was just typically the process. I learned in LA just dealing with like people who have budgets, people who do go based off of the vibe, they tend not to rush the process. So, you know, you gotta think about it, the culture that we at, people come and even with the whole economy, the whole state of mind people go at, psychology, you know, psyche-wise, I would say, people approach the studio like, all right, I'm about to get a 2-hour block with Rick Rogers, and I'm about to knock out 4 records. All I need is 10 minutes to knock out each record. He gonna do 20 minutes of mixing, on each joint, and I'm gonna have 4 records in 2 hours done. 50 an hour, $100.
Straight SoundCloud after.
You feel me? They get straight uploaded. The fans gonna get it, and I'm performing it tomorrow.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's people's visions, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But when people are really working on something and they're that dedicated to it, man, some people might have a whole 12-hour block in. They might only get 1 record done. It might not even get a whole 4 record done. Damn. It doesn't mean that it's not a productive day, though. Because that can just spark the idea for something bigger, and that could be that hit record later. Somebody can come back to it, rework it, boom, next thing you know, that's on the album.
So the worst session you had over there, what happened?
Bro, I was tracking a guy for 1 record for 10 hours straight.
Was it like harmony based or some shit? Or was he just fucking up?
The lead.
Wow.
Just the lead. No backgrounds, no harmonies, no nothing.
That was like a nigga from the street, or that somebody in the industry that came through the pipeline?
This guy.
Like, what professional level was he?
Long story short, he's a professional because he owns a label, and you know, he signed a producer under him who's very popular. He's a lawyer. That's his day job. It's like a criminal defense lawyer.
Damn.
Probably one of the best in the States that he had. Very involved with a couple people case rap artists that's in the industry.
Word.
But he also does music too. And you know, aside from how he musically sounds, it was the most excruciating, painful session I ever experienced. I was literally in there for 10 hours tracking this joint, tracking the lead, just the lead vocal.
Did the nigga book a session and finish the shit?
Yeah, he booked another session and he wanted to finish it. And then, you know, I put a mix on it, finished it, did what I thing, and then, yeah, bro.
It was some singing shit?
Yeah, man, he was trying to sing, bro. Yeah, he was trying. Keyword, trying.
The auto-tune didn't even help this shit.
Bro, it didn't work, bro. I wasn't feeling it. I wanted the vibe.
Damn.
The vocal producer there. But you know what's the crazy part about it? I'm going to tell you this, though. You know, I learned a lot from that situation, though. About, 1, you having patience, and then 2, knowing the value of yourself. Because I learned in that situation that, you know, I felt personal. This is a personal level. I felt like that I was one of the main people in the room that was helping to bring the most magic to the situation and making it work. So, I mean, we would do stuff where, all right, the line might be your love to me. So, your love to me, your love to me, your love to me. I'm making him do each line like that for the whole track, top to bottom. All right, let me try to go find the best one. Every single time I try to find the best one, he comes out the booth, talks for 5 minutes somewhere, takes him 5 minutes to get back in after I find it. All right, bam, I'm ready for the next line. The whole record, top to bottom. So it took 10 hours for that. So I learned patience, and I learned that, you know, money-wise, bro, this is not really worth what I'm getting paid. And when I looked at the greater scheme of things and the play itself, the overall play, you know, and how people was getting paid throughout it, what they was getting paid, I got paid the lowest, and I feel like I was doing the most work.
It was a paid internship though?
That was a paid session.
How was the internship a paid thing? Or was it straight internship?
No.
What was your
intern wasn't a
mind like
thing.
As far as that go?
I was like, bro, like, these guys are helping me the best that they can. Eventually, I used to feel stubborn. I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt stubborn. I felt selfish about it because I was like, dog, these guys have to pay me. You know, I understand why they not. It eventually got to a point like that. Personally, within myself, because I was going through a lot of personal struggles. Lost this crib that I was staying in. I was sleeping on floors. I was sleeping in the studios that I was buying every night. That I had the money saved up for to buy for other clients, outside clients. I had to take bird baths. Like, I couldn't even shower. Like, you know, it was a whole crazy vibe. So during that time, I was all the way down to my lowest being in LA my first year.
Lower than you been here?
Way lower. Yeah, way lower. Because it's a humiliating. It's a humility thing on top of it's a pride thing. It's really more of a pride thing where I don't feel like, you know, I can definitely got people on my line that I can call, you know, let me hold something. people's whatever like that. Like I had that type of support line because I was a support line like that to them when I was here. But my pride always used to get in my way, and I was like, yo, I gotta figure it out. I gotta be the one to figure it out and get myself out of it because I gotta get my wits up, I gotta get it up. So it'd be days, bro, I got $6 in my pocket. What am I gonna eat today? Top of the morning, what am I gonna do with the $6? How am I gonna get through the day? Just be that. So, surviving, to live or to die in LA. That's the story, that's the vibe. But yeah, bro, I forgot the initial question. What was the initial question again? I'm sorry.
Man, I don't even remember the initial question. That shit was getting crazy. I ain't know it went down like that. Like,
no, bro. Like, I really was in the trenches, bro. Like, the first 3 months, I was out there. I was staying, like, in the Culver City, Baldwin Hills area. That's, like, close to the Crenshaw area, like, Inglewood area. So I was more in that area. Eventually, 3-4 months after, my situation that I was at part of, started running dry in a relationship with the people that I was dealing with. So we moved out for a month, went to this far-ass place called Hacienda Heights. It's more of an Oriental, Mexican-based town. Went out there, stayed out there for a month. Every damn day trying to travel into Los Angeles was $50 Uber. Me getting back was a $50 Uber. And then I might be going to 2 or 3 different places where I'm not guaranteed that I'm about to get paid from. I just got to show up because of the opportunity.
How didn't you crack though? That's enough to crack and come back home.
It's definitely enough to crack and go back home, but I just wanted it hard enough. I was like, in the midst, it's just crazy, in the midst of you being so up in your career and you flourishing so much at your career, you can be goddamn at the bottom in life. So,
damn, that shit crazy, yeah.
It's crazy, bro. It's just crazy. And I feel like I went through a few things in life already prior before that kind of helped gear me to that. Like, whether that's like me about to lose my life or, like going through hard times with my family or whatever like that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to survive. Like, I'm going to get through it. Hell, I went through college. I was broke in college. Like, okay, I'm broke in LA. I'm living my dreams and I'm getting up every day and I'm working with somebody new. I'm working with people that are my idols. Like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to straighten it out. I'm going to thug it out. Thug it out, that's what I did. Right. And eventually, bro, things to start picking up. Sessions started coming through more, got different business opportunities, and I started getting my financials up, and I started being smarter with it. And from that day, I was like, you know what, I can't go broke no more. That's on me. It becomes a personal responsibility if you're gonna allow yourself to go through something being broke or not.
Yeah.
That was just the mindset. I just started switching the mindset, and I said, all right, to that day, I ain't gonna be broke. I ain't gonna be that broke again.
How did you meet Chris Brown's writer?
Goldie. I met Goldie through... How did I meet Goldie? Shout out to Jay Blaze. It was a producer named Jay Blaze. He had called me randomly through a reference of other people. That's the other thing about LA and just in general in the music industry. You gotta make sure that you keep good rapport and you don't burn bridges. Because you keeping good rapport with people, naturally through word of mouth, somebody's gonna call them and say, hey, I need somebody that can do this and that, You got a man, you got a guy, you got a stick guy who can do that for me? Yeah, G White can do that. Pass you G White number, call him. Hey, I got your number and everything from Woo Woo. Can you pull up today in the next hour? Okay, bet. You ever worked with Goldie before? She's a crazy personality, but she works with like Chris and a bunch of other different people. So yeah. You're gonna enjoy it. Just make sure that you fast and that you can do everything you can keep up. All right, bet. And I met Goldie that day. Working with her, crazy, amazing, talented writer. Probably one of the top 3 writers I work with so far. Yeah, she's dumb talented. All freestyle, all vibes, and can sing her behind all.
So through her came the Beyonce opportunity. Is that how that went, or?
No. So the Beyonce opportunity, I came through the homie Ice. So I'm gonna start all the way where that came from. It originally came from Mike and Keys. Through Mike and Keys, I met Lawrence Dobson. Lawrence Dobson is Lawrence 1500. He runs 1500 and Nothing, the active CEO. Mm-hmm. He also has his own academy, music academy in Inglewood, California, called 1500 and Nothing Academy. With that, he got partnerships with Roland, Fender. He's on everybody's album. Typically, I'm not gonna lie, he is called the Diddy of music producers out on the West Coast.
Damn, for real.
That's what he earned his name to be. Because not only does he, not only is he getting the music checks, but he getting all of the calls for the major big albums. So if there's a major big album that's about to crack, and it's people going to the West Coast to make their rounds or whatever like that, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna run something through Rance musically. Whether it's like, all right, yo, the record's already done. All right, we might need some musical inspiration. We just might need some music flourishings. So let's go to these guys. I mean, these guys, man, you gotta think about it. These guys, they work behind, like, they play in a live band for Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Damn.
It's different. And they've been doing that for years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years. That's how they first really got on. They got on just through performing, just doing live-based gigs for all of the celebrities. And then through that came production. They started getting all the calls for the productions, being for drummers, being for keyboards, being for guitars. And it turned it into a business, and they've been turning up with it, bro. So he's the owner of that, and I met him through him. And through him, I met this girl named Cadence. She's from the tri-state area, dope writer. She comes from Ariana Grande's camp. She's also an artist herself, but eventually, and that all connected. I just started, that's when I first met her through Rance, just seeing her or whatever like that, just around. After seeing her around, you know, I met her with a guy I've been dealing with out there, my guy named Story. Shout out to him. He also from the tri-state area too. Very, very close friends with Cadence. Like, I think they moved out to LA together type situation. And, you know, just by working with him, being a good guy to him, I used to work at a studio that he used to always bring me to. I didn't know it was Cadence Studio, though. And it was being rented out from 1500 and nothing Lawrence from one of his buildings. So I'm like, all right, the whole connection, I see the whole connection. She comes through one day. All right, yo, my man Story tells me you're a dope engineer. I'm just going to sit here and just watch you do a little bit of whatever you're doing. So I'm doing what I'm doing. He's like, oh, yeah. You seem like you got a good grasp of what you're doing. Yeah. G White's the dope. Yeah, he's my engineer. He's the dopest. That I put that on everything.
Damn.
Exchange informations. She called me one day. Said, look, maybe like 3-4 weeks later, called me, yo, I got a session. I may need you at. See if you can just pull up just to pull up. It's not gonna be a paid session, but you know it is what it is. I think she did pay me though, just cause, but it wasn't a paid session. And I was like, yeah, I just wanted you to pull up just to kind of give like a test trial, see what it is. After that, I'm gonna make sure everything we do, kind of from here on out, is like paid or whatever. And bro, I went in, I nailed the session. They loved doing what I was doing. They didn't have to tell me much. I was doing things that added to the vibe without them saying it before. And yeah, they loved it. And they kept calling me back since.
Word.
From there, called me one day and said, yo, I need you to show up here. The studio is going to be a 16-hour type day. In the same sense, like Mike and Keys kept me in the dark, didn't know what I was showing up for. I just knew that we were showing up in a new studio that I ain't never been to. So I show up to the new studio. It's an upstairs and a downstairs. We go upstairs. We there for 8 hours, and then downstairs we got another 8 hours. So she said, all right, upstairs right now we're going to be working for Beyonce. We're going to be doing some work for Beyonce. I just got finished talking to her manager, Sasha, who's like her sister.
Before you go further,
yeah, you good.
When she first said that shit, what did you think?
In the back of my head, I was like, well, shit, okay. Fuck, I mean, well, we here. So,
damn.
All right, bet. I guess this is what I've been waiting on.
Damn.
I'm here. So, yeah, man. I mean, I was excited. I mean, I would be excited just like anybody, but you can't show it. You can only show it for so much because the more and more I showed it, you know, I would just become, it would be viewed as if I'm hella thirsty. Hella thirsty for the opportunity, and, you know, they just would have seen it. But instead, I just fueled and I concentrated that excitement into what I was doing with the records that we was working on that day. So, me, her girlfriend, Castellina, and my guy Fresh from New York, we was all in the room, and we was just working on the records. We probably came out of that 8-hour block with maybe 3 records, and one of those records was Keys to the Kingdom, and that's the one that landed on the album. And but we didn't know it was landing. We just did the records that felt the best out of all of it.
And explain the process for the people, because you told it to me, but how did that actual session go down as far as making that record?
All right, so the session went down where we do it in a way where it's like we do it very openly. Openly in the sense of, okay, pull up the beat, G White, all right, play it from the top. All right, dope, I think I got a melody. I'm about to go in and lay down some melodies. So go ahead and just set my auto-tune up, set my whole presets right. Yeah, let me just go in there and just lay down some melodies. They go lay down some melodies, and then Castellini be like, "Hey, I think I got a pre," and Fresh might be like, "All right, I can fill in here and there. I think we need a part, like a chanty type part." And he'll go in there and just do everything. GY, you hear anything? If you want to go in and do some melodies, you can too. Bet. Everybody lay down all the melodies. We playing all the melodies from top to bottom. As I'm playing each one top to bottom, hey, GY, snatch that right there. Like, make an incision right there. Snatch this part right here. Mark that, mark that, mark that. And then I delete all the other parts that, wasn't marked. From there, now we got a puzzle. We got pieces to a puzzle. All right, take this part, put this after this one. Let's see how that sounds together. All right, bet, I like that. You just use this. This sounds like a hook. This sounds like a pre. This sounds like that. And we piece the whole song together, top to bottom, just straight gibberish.
Before the words.
Before the words. Then, as a group, collectively, play it from the top. G White, play the first 4 bars. All right, what we want to talk about? How we feeling?
This your first time doing it like that?
No, I already did that format. That's my first time being introduced to that format is with them.
I
worked with them prior before the Beyonce stuff came up. And we already built it, had like a chemistry. So I was already peeping the vibe, and I already was getting like used to the formal.
So how did you get the information? Like, was it through email, through phone call that they was using the record?
So Cadence first texted me saying that I think one of the records is gonna get picked up. And I was excited off that and cool. And then she was like, "Yo, send me this record. Send me one of the sessions right here. They said they want it. And Beyonce wants it. She want to listen to it or whatever like that. Send it. They said they love it. Hey, G White, I'm about to go link up with Beyonce for that record right now. And we're about to do one-on-one sessions with her. I'm about to do a one-on-one session." So what I wasn't knowing was what she explained, like the whole documentary that came out on ABC about the process of making the music, was she had a team of different songwriters. Cadence was like the main lead person out of our group. And it was like a round table of different, songwriters that was asked to be a part of the whole situation. And through them, everybody got played certain songs. And they would have their own time where they have one-on-one songs from the songs that she liked and she picked out of the bunch. She will get one-on-ones with them and say, "Yo, I like this song, but I think we need to switch this word, we need to switch this. Because I like you saying key to the kingdom, but we need to change the keys to the kingdom because I'm about to have more daughters. I got more than one daughter or son, and I want to make it a reference. We can make it a better reference to as if I'm talking about my children. So changing little things like that with like Beyonce and The Dream coming in. The Dream is known for doing stuff like that, like him coming to sessions of things that's already done, and he's a person that I can identify what can make this better.
Damn, for real.
And then just have sessions like that. So she had it already with whatever Beyonce engineer was with Cadence recording, but they don't have the same settings as that I have on my computer with the same swag, the same drop, same everything. So after every single session that they would have working on the record, they always send it back. And they send it back to me like, "G White, we need you to put the sauce back up there with these new lyrics, with these new joints. The beat is new. We need you to replace all this and that." So
this is still the writing part of it, though, right?
This is still the writing.
This
session.
isn't like her vocals.
No, this ain't even her vocals on it. This is just still all the writing session.
Damn.
And that we probably maybe through email. I probably did maybe 3 or 4 different exchanges back and forth with just edits. And then it came down and they say, "All right." The last time when I had to send it off, they said, "All right, Beyonce needs a bounce of everything. She needs a bounce of just the lead by herself. She needs a bounce of every background part individually by herself. So that way when she can go in, she can hear the record, but then she was like, "All right, yo, solo this part. Let me hear this one joint. Okay, that's what she doing. All right, bet. Let me relay that." Vice versa for like the other artists that was on the record, like T.Y. Savage. And yeah.
So do you remember exactly what you were doing when you got the information that it was nominated for a Grammy? Like, what were you doing?
I mean, what I was doing, I think I might have been at work. I think I was in the studio. And yeah, when I was in the studio, I think people was just hitting me and just telling me like, "Yo, not people wasn't telling me, but the day with the nominations coming out, because I think it was like 2 days when nominations were coming out. And it was like, all right, the second day when it's supposed to come out, like that's when we gonna find niggas nominated for a Grammy or not. Because there was certain categories where it was and certain songs were nominated, but everybody that dealt with the album wasn't, wasn't eligible to be nominated. Because certain categories, you had certain stipulations for, like where it was only the producer, or it was only the artist, it was only the engineers. And in certain categories was like, okay, anybody that had something to do with it would be, nominated for a Grammy. And for Best Pop Vocal Album of the Year, that one had made it. So, I think I might have been in the studio when I found that information out.
Did you watch the Grammys?
I was at the crib. I remember. I was at the crib, sitting on the couch with my guys, with my roommates, Commonwealth, and, the plus one and plus two. And I just found out, look at my phone, I said, oh, the Grammys, they put out a post saying that, it's up for a nomination. That.
Damn.
I didn't even tell the world. I didn't even tell nobody. I ain't posted. I ain't called them. I ain't called my mama. I probably called my mama maybe like 6-7 days after. Told her, oh yeah, I'm up for a Grammy.
What is that though? Like, what is it that keeps you, that makes you not want to share it with the people? Because I get the not wanting to boast thing, but I also look at the people who do believe in you, like a coup. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And see, this is the thing, and I'm starting to get more out of that because I'm learning that that's starting to dim my own light, downplaying my own self. In a sense, that's kind of how it's being looked at. It's like, all right, if you're not excited about this, then it's just like, what's going to make you excited? Damn, you're making it seem as if like I shouldn't be, or the people, or just people in general, feels as if like, yeah, I feel like that I shouldn't even be excited no more based off of how you carry. But at the same time, I guess that energy do be just stemming from naturally like there's more work to do. And at the end of the day, real life is real life, and I know what real life is compared to my career life.
Yeah,
it's two different things.
But for people like us though, we literally we're living a dream for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Even if we ain't doing it too major, but it's really, that's why I feel obligated to share it, because there's people who see me in my mama's bathroom that's excited when I go deal with like Epic Records or some shit like that. But
real talk.
That's neither here nor there. So we're going to backtrack the conversation the whole.
Nah, you good.
We can bring it back home.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so I met you at Clint Eastwood's studio, I believe.
Yeah, Rockstar Studio.
I think I had heard about you before. Then, matter of fact, Clint was telling me about you, and then you just happened to be there that night.
Right.
You end up mixing Rich by 30. Mm-hmm. How was it for you hearing that on the radio?
Oh, it was dope. It was amazing. I probably was working on maybe 1 or 2 records that probably hit like Sunday spotlight. I was like, all right, bet that just don't hit the radio, but I was like, okay, regular daily rotation.
Because I don't think we ever even talked about it after that.
Yeah, we never did. I think I just did the record and he was like, oh yeah, I'm rocking with you, fuck with you. And then I think I met you at 22. Yeah. After, and then, we just been rocking since then. But,
speaking of 22,
felt good.
What did we get there? It was a murder yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
At 22 Research Drive.
R.I.P. to them and, to them and their family, praise to them and their family and everybody that was involved in that situation.
For the young knuckleheads out there, describe the effect of some of the carelessness that it has on an entrepreneur with his own business.
Man, it affects the business tremendously, man. Not even from a perspective where it's like, of course, obviously, it messes up the money. It messes up opportunities where, bigger things can come out of situations. For example, like I had a partnership years before I moved to LA with a nonprofit organization called Family Restoration Services. And I used to do it and conduct my services with them at 22 Research Drive. But over time, as the building of the culture of the building, started to change, their attitude towards me and what I was bringing towards, to the program that I had with them. Long story short, it was people, they used to do services for people who, were in need of from anger management or from whatever, maybe 13 and pregnant, maybe from schizophrenia, whatever type of symptoms and everything. And they would try to give them different subjects and different things in life that they can use for once they graduate or for once they, move on to the next phase of life that they can use. So, they had different programs like playing, gardening, learning about finances and things of that nature. But they also had like subject-based things, subject extracurricular-based activities, which were like football, softball, gymnastics, and I ran the music program portion at my studio. So that was a dope opportunity. But once the culture of the building started being affected by the people that was coming in, people, you smell smoke everywhere, and just people just being naturally unprofessional, it started to have an effect on my overall program, and eventually I lost the program.
So, I didn't even know that's how that went down.
Yeah, just because it started getting to a point where, kids can't come up here. Like I'll be as the owner of a company that's here to service the kids, children. I would feel embarrassed if the parent picked up their child from your establishment. It started to get that wild. So, I wouldn't even say it's just young people, it's just people in general. Because there's some people who just our age and older, they ain't got home training either. And just as much. So it's just bad, bro. It's bad, it's very unprofessional. And, in the bigger scheme of things, man, you can't grow. You get to only a certain amount when you live or you present that type of vibe off. You're only going to get to a certain cap. You cap yourself.
Yeah.
Long story short, you cap yourself by doing this or by presenting and bringing that energy to yourself. Especially if you're trying to be a businessman, whether it's just in anything that you're trying to do. It don't even have to just be music, just anything. When you bring that unprofessionalism around you and to you, it makes people go away from you.
Bet. So this is going to kind of be a long drawn out question because I got to detail it first.
Sure.
All right. Now, as an engineer, especially an engineer like G White, you become a hot commodity in the industry, right? We're not going to name drop. I'm just going to, a situation that I was present. Yeah. All right, you become a hot commodity where everybody needs shit done right away and you can't get it done right away and artists getting their feeling. That's a typical thing, but it was at one point in time someone showed up to the studio and pulled the gun out on you.
I did.
I witnessed the whole thing. You handled it really well, but really what was on your mind when that happened? I know that was the most unexpected shit ever, like as an engineer.
Very unexpected. And first thing I wanted to do was, I wanted to react. My initial reaction was to, when you present this negative energy to me, let me present it right back. Tenfold. Let me give it back to you and spin it back to you like times 10. And then that's hyping the situation up to be somewhere that it didn't need to go. That was my initial thought. But then I said, you know what? Bro, we grown men. We can sit here and talk this out like grown men. You're older than me. And you're pulling out a gun on me. Over $150. And I gave you about 6 hours of studio time. Where at the time I would go out of state and just to use the studio for 6 to 8 hours, I'm spending close to $1,000. We're not even talking about charging the artist yet. We just talking about just to get in the room. To me, I had to explain that to him, and I said, bro, like, how long have you been recording in Virginia? I've been recording in Virginia for like 10 plus years, man, and I feel unsatisfied about what you did for me, man. Everything says rough on it. Everything says this. Everything says that. And, I just don't like it, Like, I don't understand what it is, bro. Like, I don't think that's how I understand it. This is my worst experience I ever had. I never had something like this in the 10 years that I've been recording music. I said, well, bro, where have you been recording it? Have you only been in Virginia doing it? Have you been in the industry, in a place where the industry is thriving at? Have you been in Atlanta? Have you been in New York? Have you been to California? Have you been in the big studios? Have you been to Dr. Dre's studio? Have you been into these other bigger studios and these big records are getting cut at? You know how much those studios cost? Have you ever spent $150 an hour? Have you ever spent $250 an hour in the studio? What are we sitting here talking about? $150 for a 6-hour block that I kind of gave you knowing I devalue myself.
That's a steal.
And how many records did you do in the 6 hours? You expect me to give you my best work? Yeah, I feel like, I might be the hot commodity. You might be coming at me because you heard about me and you wanted to get an experience of that. And you feel like that your experience fell short of that. But you gotta understand that my approach is completely different. And I told you that coming from the door. And then people that was around was agreeing. It was like, like even the stick man that he came with, he was like, hey bro, I even know he charged this price and he gave it to you on a love discount. I even know that, and I don't even record with him. I choose not to because I know he charge high.
Damn.
So it was just interesting. After that, man, I found out that it was an emotional attention-based thing where he immediately went to light where he felt as if he was being disrespected, he was being played. So typically, in other ways, in other situations, where he may have felt that way, he wanted to go to a certain way of action. And this wasn't that type of situation. It didn't cause for that. So, talked him down from it, and he apologized, tried to dab me up, hug me out there. I ain't gonna say he cried, nigga ain't cried, but
that shit was weird, man.
it was just weird. It was a weird experience, and I knew it was a more emotional than anything. And I walked back in the building, niggas was like, bro, I don't know how you did it. And two, you crazy as fuck for goddamn hugging and dapping that nigga up, because I ain't hugging and dapping nobody that's gonna pull a gun out on me.
Nah, I mean, it takes a real high level of comprehension to even hug and dap someone up after, like, you really got to put yourself in their shoes a little bit to do something like that. You get what I'm saying? Which is a maturity thing. Now, you got VA, you got LA.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you was doing when you got the news about Kobe? And were you in LA when you got that news?
I was in LA. I was in the crib making beats. Fucked my whole day up. It was the day of the Grammys.
Oh damn, for real? I ain't realized that.
It was on Sunday. It was on a Sunday.
Was you on TV or on scrolling Instagram? Was you?
I was making beats.
I mean, like when you got the news, someone called you.
I was making beats in my room with my roommate. Probably was on the third beat. We was in the vibe, getting it. The beat was about to feel crazy. And next thing you know, my other roommate, he's screaming from the other room, "Yo, hey yo, I think Kobe died."
Dang.
He was like, "What are you yelling at?" He came up, got a, "Hey yo, I think Kobe died, bro, for real." For real? No boy? Yeah, bro, like TMZ just called it. They just said it. We just stopped everything. I'm just on my Googles now. I'm like, Kobe Bryant, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking, I'm like, this nigga Kobe died, bro.
Damn.
He died in a helicopter. That's crazy to me. And it was just shocking, bro. That's my whole day up, bro.
Word.
I didn't even watch the Grammys. I didn't even go to the Grammys. I didn't do anything dealing with music that day after that. I was done.
So being that it had that kind of effect on you, what did you think about the Gayle King incident? And that's her name, right?
Gayle King, yeah. Gayle.
Yeah. How did you see that? Cause did you see her explanation?
So I did see her explanation, but the number one thing is though, on that situation, I didn't see the whole full interview, and I would have loved to probably see the whole full interview rather than just a clip. But three, just in the defense of just everything, naturally, my first expression was just almost pretty much like everybody else's. Like, how and why did you get on this topic?
Yeah.
Like, how? How did we get here?
See, for me,
regardless of whoever you was interviewing was comfortable about talking about that or going in that direction, why are you as an interviewer, turning the conversation into that type of light?
See, the first question, if she would have left it at the first question, I would have been like, alright. But her response after Lisa Leslie responded, that let me know that she really was trying to stick it on him. Because, Shorty was like, in the club, he never was the type to do this. He never would have did this. And then she was like, but you wouldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Almost like accusing the nigga of that shit. Yeah. But I think the backlash, I think the death threats, I think all that shit is well deserved on her end. Because she should know better than that.
Bro. It's crazy.
Alright, so I do scenarios on this platform. Right. It's my first time in Virginia, Newport News. I'm in your home with you, chilling. I want to go get something good to eat. What's the first two spots you taking me to?
First two spots. Chicken C, classic. Gotta get that chicken C. Double big chick combo. You know what I'm saying? Actually, with the cheese on that mug. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't, if you on your nasty, dirty vibe, sometimes I be on that. Yeah, with the red juice, need that. So that's one. Even though it ain't nothing but strawberry Fanta, it's just that machine hit different. Okay, we call it juice. But so I'm taking them there, but then in Newport News, I'm taking them to fine dining especially if it's a woman like my woman. Shout out to Pooh. She knows she is. But yeah, fine dining. Fins restaurant. It's out Port Ward area.
Fins?
Fins, Fins.
Some fish, seafood shit, or is that
seafood
what it's
spot,
called?
expensive seafoods. The top seafood spot in Newport.
I think you told me about that shit, that expensive ass tab.
Yeah, you gotta get ready though. Get ready, fellas. Get ready for the tab though. The tab, to have a nice, good time, you want them, bottles of champagne or whatever like that, wine, all that. Yeah, you might spend about $250.
Oh, it ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad.
Treat
but,
my ladies to some shit type shit.
Yeah, it's something good. I think it's something so good it's a vibe. But me, I'm the type to want to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let me get 3 entrees. Oh, that's my one. We gonna get 3 entrees. I'm gonna eat off 3 different joints, or like 4, 5 appetizers. Let me get the caviar, mac and cheese. Let me get the duck. Nigga, they asked me, how do I want my duck? There's a certain part of the duck that it's like a steak.
You ate duck before? Yeah. It's good? I ain't never had that shit.
Crazy, my nigga. Movie, B. Part of it tastes like chicken, the other part tastes like steak, my nigga.
Damn.
Crazy. I said, oh, it's a movie. This is my place.
Right. I think that's my drop for Valentine's.
Movie, bro. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go try that out.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, go, man.
Alright, so if I don't even know what the fuck is them things called so I can get it right every interview. When the nigga walking down the street with the big old horn and you can talk to everybody, what is that called? It's like a saxophone? Xylophone? Not xylophone, that's the little...
that's the bells. No.
What is the... it's not some type... Well, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
alright, so if I could give you a microphone that would reach every black male in the world at the same time, what would your message be?
That's a great question. Wonderful question. Is my message to black men?
They get deep for you, so I'm thinking about the whole father shit, the murders and all of that. Yeah.
For sure. My number one, because I want to get something good. It's almost to the point I don't want to get one thing. I do multiple things. I want to make it short. Alright, what I would tell black men everywhere, particularly black young men and boys, I would tell them that it's going to be okay, and it's okay to cry. That's the number one thing. It's okay to cry, because I think with black men, at least a lot of the black men that I grew up around, we tend to put our emotions on the back burner a lot, just from the type of environment that we in. And we go through so many things, and we experience so many things. We experience so much trauma that we don't talk about, that we just leave in the back of our brains, cranium. That it start creating these tendencies throughout life that we start carrying on, these certain glitches that we start carrying, and it just naturally start affecting our life. So that'd be the number one thing is, man, it's okay to cry and it's okay to express yourself. But then 2, man, in order to get to this world or to get some type of advantage in this world, you need to find out what you want to do. You need to find your purpose. The quicker you can find your purpose and you can start working on that, the quicker you're going to get out of your situation.
Facts.
That's the main thing. Yeah, those are the main shortest things I can come up with off the top.
Alright, so give your best relationship advice to a close friend.
Best relationship advice?
Yeah, as far as keeping your woman happy. Seeing that smile on her face.
Shit, happy wife, happy life, right? That's what I say, right? Even though I ain't even got a wife yet. Yeah.
It's close enough, man. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
No cap. Like, if y'all cool, like, y'all got a tight relationship, it's the same tight as, as it is after you married type shit.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Respect. From a male, learn her love language. Love her love language. Like, that's the number one thing. Because I might want to be loved, like, with gifts and things of this nature, but it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else want to be loved the same exact way. It might take big love through doing small gestures that have big meanings to them. And it doesn't cost to have money, and it doesn't cost to have really much. Just really thought and intent behind it, the effort. So, learning your partner's love language. You need to learn that early. Just read the signs. Learn how to read signs better. When I first started getting into relationships, I was terrible at that. Like, if you wasn't telling me directly, well, because I was so focused and locked in on music and everything else that I got going on, business oriented rise, and just me just trying to get self up, like, I was just neglecting on seeing signs or seeing some obvious things.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah. It's still a struggle here and there too. I still deal with it.
Well, how did you find, like, how, being a hot commodity and shit, like, how did you find the time to pay attention to it? Because for me, work is outside the door and it's definitely in the house 24/7. Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, bro, it's still a constant battle day by day. Like, currently right now, like, I'm in a long distance relationship right now. And that shit's hard as fuck, bro. It's the hardest type of relationship.
First time you ever done one?
It's my second.
Long distance jump?
Yeah, actually, no, long. I wait. It's my third.
Hold on, wait, because even if we got to cut this part, I want to ask this question.
You good? I don't care. You can go.
Shorty now ain't Shorty then.
No, it's not.
See, I never really got a good look at Shorty before. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you, man.
Hey, man, I gotta elevate, bro.
And she made you happy. Because at first, I was like, because we had just talked about some particular, and then I seen, posts and kisses and
just the whole vibe.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I know this ain't the same freaking girl. You know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean? Because I get it, like, people work their shit out and all that shit, but just for me knowing what you went through and then what you was doing, I'm like, why is he letting her be a part of that? But that's amazing, though, that it's a whole new person that you can see the smile, like, you can see the happiness on your face, my nigga.
Yeah, no, for real, bro, for real. And I think, like, you gotta be able to, like, I used to be scared in the sense of, like, expressing it openly. For whatever reasons, I don't really know. I don't know if it was just some BS tendencies that I was getting. Like, I wanted to just stay to myself and keep it for what it is. But, I mean, naturally over time, man, I just started becoming more affectionate, and I just wanted to start showing it more. I just want to start showing that I do care. And showing that you do care, I started learning that just comes through action. So, most people think sometimes it's through social media showmanship, but that's not necessarily action. Action sometimes is
more understanding and supportive and shit.
That's gonna be always a constant struggle, and in line with work that I'm doing and just how I'm doing it as of now. Like, I'm bi-coastal right now.
She's somebody you went to school with? You met her new? Like, where the fuck did she come from, son?
I met. So, Pooh, we just gonna reference her as Pooh. It is what it is. So I met Pooh initially in high school. I met her in high school through church.
Ooh, excellent. Want to hear that.
It's all good. I mean, she be alright. She cool.
She'll never reach out? X don't never try to reach out?
I mean, she reached out like previous times, and we engaged. We have conversations. I wish the best of luck to her and her situation, but she got some good things going on. You know what I'm saying? She got a beautiful child going on right now. Like, yeah, got a beautiful son.
Oh, he born?
Yeah. Dope. So, yeah, I got nothing bad to say.
Shout out Pooh, man.
Yeah, but shout out Pooh.
Shout out Pooh, man. Shout out all the women putting smiles on niggas' faces, man. For real, man.
Every time, man. Why not?
New Year's Eve, you was in Miami, right? Or what were you in Florida?
No. That was Christmas.
Okay,
Christmas I was in Miami.
What was that like? Was that your first time being in Miami?
No, I've been to Miami before. I was out in Miami. My first time going to Miami was for business. Yeah, I was out there recording at the Hit Factory, Criteria.
I was about to ask you that shit too. How was that?
Fucking amazing, bro.
You ain't see Scott Storch in that bitch?
Nah, I seen Lil Wayne though.
What the fuck, for real? Oh,
see Lil Wayne, bro.
Shit, for real.
Shit was crazy. He's out there playing basketball with like Lil Twist and some other niggas.
Dang, you ain't get to say what up?
Nah, because by the time I came in, like, they was walking out. They was walking inside.
That's lit, though.
Because they was like, who? Oh, the gate opened it up? Oh, let me go and take my black ass inside.
Oh shit, that's weird.
But I mean, that was experience, bro. I mean, I was in the room where they did Dirt Off the Shoulders at with Timbaland and Jay-Z. I was in that same exact room with the purple walls and all that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Legendary room.
The jump from the Fade to Black shit?
Yep.
Damn, that's lit.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, that's the one we need. We want that room.
You knew that was the same room when you saw it?
I knew it. Yep.
And you called the room out, saying that's the one you want.
Yep.
That's lit.
Before booking it, yep.
So,
expensive too, but it worked itself out.
I know you got some. Are they even considered placements when you get them on Netflix and all that? Is that still placements, or that's considered something else in the industry?
It's called shit. I'm gonna call it a placement right now. Shit, it got placed.
What was that like for you? Like having some shit on Netflix?
It was good. It was cool. So I got some. Shout out to Don Green from Virginia Beach.
It was his record?
Work. Yeah, it was his work. It was a
Okay,
record
so
that
that's two
collaborated
niggas
on.
from Virginia that made a play.
Yeah. So I worked on it with him, with working on this show called Trinkets. It was maybe like on episode 6 or 8. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it just made it for maybe like a 6-second intro towards the whole episode. It was dope.
Yeah,
was
for
cool.
real.
Played the record and everything. I mean, it did its thing. So
What was the first check
Syncs is solid, man. I love Syncs. Sync records are good.
What the checks like? Is they not big or they just like they comfortable?
I mean, they can be decent, honestly, man. With some people, man, I know some bedroom producers and songwriters, man, that they get all of their money through sync, and they make a living off of that. They got full house, full family, fully support their whole career off of doing syncs.
Damn.
So I mean, and it works out for them, you know. It really works out good for them.
So what's next for G White in the Commonwealth Music Group?
Well, right now we got 2 artists. We got Stevie Fooley and we got Theory. So right now, Theory, he just dropped the record, the EP, on the 30th. Yeah, he just dropped something on the 30th. So go on the platforms, go check that out. It's called Retrograde. Then Stevie Fooley, right now we're working on the video that everybody get ready to release to a record that he got out right now called Believe. So we're working on that, working diligently hard on that. And flourishing their careers outside of that. Still managing a couple songwriters that's from Virginia and, you know, dealing with some different people that's on the West Coast in Atlanta. So we're building with the careers of those people and, you know, trying to get things flourishing. Bro, I'm about to turn up, bro. I'm about to get this rolling like how Teddy Riley did back in the day, bro.
You know what's lit? That's my same energy for this year, my nigga.
Yeah.
Whether I gotta write nigga songs or link with whatever producers to make it happen, cause I feel like we got the stars here. Niggas, it's really the music for real. Cause a lot of niggas hit and miss with the music out here, but that's lit that you say that though, cause I'm on that same wave for real.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like 22 would have been a great area to do it at, but you know, situations is situations. But yo, that's my goal, bro. Because it's at the end of the day, it's like I look at my overall purpose, and okay, it's my purpose for me to be selfishly immersed in my personal career in music. That may be part of it, or it may fuel from it. But my whole purpose isn't that. I learned that my purpose is to become an outlet for people in Virginia and for people who don't know much about music. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's more about. It's like passing that information. It's passing the culture of it. Passing your experiences and everything and passing it over to other people that should, you know, for you can just spread it. It's cool working and reaching up to these people and all this and that. But it's like, man, what about the people that's to the side of me? The people that's below me? It's like, people back home. Why not bring something, work on something for back home than anything? Some people may feel like that they're not at the point yet where, you know, they feel comfortable with all their financial based situations and how they living personally and being able to come back and give something back to the area. But for me, I mean, I feel like, man, honestly, that's the whole vibe. That's my purpose, bro. I'm here to create a big stamp and create a legacy.
A lot of people would say
do it back home.
It's hard to do it back home. A lot of niggas would advise you not to do it back home. What is it about home that makes you feel like it can be done from here?
Man, look, I was talking to my brother late last night, man, about how niggas feel or how niggas tend to get in one line of thinking. Fuck that. It's a mentality switch. It's a mentality change. Yeah, sure, some situations, some instances may lead you to think that can't nothing change, can't nothing this, it won't always be the same, it's always gonna be this. It's always gonna be that though if you have that line of thinking. You gotta switch your mentality. I done seen so much stuff going on in the world, and I'm just like, yo, niggas can implement some of this stuff in Virginia. Like, don't nobody got it. Like, you just gotta bring the keys to the kingdom. That's it. Real. It's like, niggas, like, I look at it like this. So sometimes the people in Virginia, we have the mentality of, yo, I'm looking for somebody to reach. Like, I'm waiting for somebody to reach back. I'm waiting for hands or arms to reach back at me for that can help draw me up. You know what I'm saying? To draw me up to where I need to be at. And then I was like, man, fuck that. Nigga, I might need to just do my own push-ups and do my own sit-ups and everything like that. I might need to get my own black ass up.
And be the reach.
And be the reach for other people. Why can't I be the hand? Why am I keep looking up to Pharrell, Tim, and all this and that for them to only be the only hand? Why can't I be my own hand? And you know, flourish and do that for other people. So it's like, fuck waiting for everybody else, man. Like, and it's crazy because, you know, that's one thing I learned in church. Like, not to F things. You know what I'm saying? Not to say F it, to have that mentality, but it's like, sometimes we walk into ministries and we walk into things where, you know, it may sit on our mind, it may sit on our heart that, you know what, if I implement or this and that was changed, that can easily open up new areas. It can open up new things for people. But a lot of times that might be God just telling you that, yo, you might be the person that need to do it, rather than you waiting on somebody else to do it. You might already have it in your head that this and that need to happen, and somebody need to change it a little bit. It might be being that you the person that's thinking about it, you might be the person that need to lead it. So I'm at that point now, bro, in life where, you know, I'm not being satisfied no more by just personal gains of just like what I do in my career, or I work with Beyonce, or I work with this and that people, or I work with that. That's cool and everything, bro, but what am I changing? What am I truly changing? Am I just changing my life? Am I changing the people that's around me? Am I making great effect? Am I changing my family life?
Do you ever realize that your intelligence offends people?
I don't care.
Have you ever got that?
I don't care. I tend not to really think about it like that. Don't matter. Cause I know one, the intent is good. The intent is great. And if you can't see the intent behind it, you can't see, I'm not even gonna say the greatness behind it, because I don't want to make it like a ego-driven based thing. That's how I don't want to make it that. But I let me say this. I tend to see that sometimes through some people, and it may offend them, and may get people fearful, and may get people a little jittery. It might get people, I mean, even down to my family. Sometimes, like, just even the way I talk and just the energy that I present with what I do, it makes them uncomfortable. And it might make them uncomfortable because they never exuded maybe that same type of energy into what they may truly wanted to do. And that's fine, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to break whatever generational curses that I got going on in my family, and I'm going to change the culture of it. It's CultureVa. It's like, at the end of the day, it's about shifting the culture and elevating it. It's not trying to just stay the same and just being stagnant.
Definitely.
You gotta elevate, man.
Alright, so speaking of CultureVa, are you familiar with CultureVa?
Yes, sir, I am.
When you watch CultureVa, what do you get from it? What do you see?
Man, I see a lot of love. It's the number one thing. I see a lot of love. I think CultureVa, I think love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a platform where people can express themselves. People can get off and they can say how they feel, say what they want to feel. But then also, too, I think it's almost like a United Nations in a sense. It's something where it's like, it's uniting people. And it's bringing together people, and it's bringing together perspectives and lines of thinking, and it's knowledge in a sense. It's giving knowledge.
Do you see it being something big?
Well, I see it being something big.
Yeah.
One, I already feel like it is something big, but yeah, I definitely see it getting bigger. I feel like it's already something big right now. Sure, we might be in the early stages or whatever like that. We might be in like the first couple bricks to the foundation being laid down, but I feel like it's already big.
Has it came up in conversation around you before?
A little bit here and there, but I say that only when I really step more into Virginia than anything. Have I really heard it so much in LA? Too much? No, not really. Maybe one or two people may have said it just due to the people that's from Virginia that I'm around, but for the most part, no. I think it's a Virginia-based thing, and you know, I love it.
I bet. So before we close the interview out, is there anything about G White you want people to know as far as being misconstrued as a person?
Misconstrued. Look, at the end of the day, man, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an audio engineer, I'm a music producer, singer-songwriter, you know, I'm a manager, I'm all this and that. But, you know, before I'm all that, I'm a God-fearing man. So, you know, I believe in God, and I think, you know, as long as you got your faith in God, and as long as you practice, like, as long as you practice faith with a lot of work, I feel like you can flourish and you can do anything that you want.
Facts. So, from Rick Rodgers to G White, I know you for going on 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying this, okay, for anybody who need to know, when I have questions, because everybody look at me like I'm out of here, like I'm gone, I know everything. When I don't know shit, I call G White. If I really need something mixed and I can't mix it, I'm gonna call G White. If I have a problem with anything music-wise, relationship-wise, faith-wise, I come to G White. So I personally want to thank you for your contribution to VA. I know as an engineer, we don't get our just due for what we really do. And I know them 12-hour sessions of dealing with some bullshit and all this shit, it take a lot to be that person. Like, even you stepping out on faith, like, my step out on faith was quitting Taco Bell and working. Your step out on faith was going to LA and being broke, sleeping on couches, doing what you had to do to make shit work, which turned into different industry connections, fucking Grammy nominations, nigga. I done seen you purchase so much money for a studio that I didn't even believe was possible, but you made it possible, my nigga. And I really feel like you definitely go down in history as one of the dopest niggas from Virginia. And we young as a motherfucker, so ain't no telling what we gonna be, you know what I mean? So overall, I thank you for your contribution to the CultureVa, my nigga, and it's really an honor to have sit here and get to know you the way I just got to know you just now.
My man, it's a pleasure just to be here, man, just to even express myself on the platform that you provided, that you provided overall for the culture. It's in the name itself, CultureVa. So, you know, keep continuing flourishing in what you're doing, and just being an overall giving person that you are. Because since I met you, you haven't been nothing but a giving person. Sometimes you give, sometimes you, and we both practice the same thing. Sometimes we may give more than what we may need to give, but we know that through doing that, we're gonna receive our biggest blessings that way. So, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, man, just keep continuing being you and keep continuing, you know, being a legacy for not only your family, but for the state of Virginia.
Facts. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.